what's up, Scott Walker? We're on the Imagination Creation Films, and today it is Friday, October 18th, 2024. And, I I feel like it's a good time to maybe, live stream or something like that. What do you think? Yeah, it is an absolutely wonderful day. There's tons and tons of stuff we can chat about and talk about, and this live stream just kind of go right off the rails at any time, and I'm fine with that as long as you're fine with that. Because if you're not fine with that, you probably got the wrong live stream. That's right. So we've got tons to talk about. We got this could be a relatively short live stream. Got family over today, and so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. It's one of those fun days, fun-filled days. I'm sure you all have them. Then let's see. I've got video for Tuesday already done, ready to go. All you that might actually be next Tuesday's video, but all you channel members, you've already seen it, so enjoy. But also have another video for, I think I'll do it this Tuesday. That'll be the Pavo Slim review. I think I'm going to put that one this Tuesday, and then the other one for next Tuesday. I might live stream next Friday. I don't know for sure. I will be in Alaska, so doing a bit of a scouting trip up there. So I don't know if I'll be live streaming. I might. I just might feel like it and say, you know what, it's Friday afternoon. Why not? So if you see me, you see me. If you don't, you don't. And it's the way it goes. Everybody's in, that kind of thing. Whoa, let's do that again. I love it when it does that. There we go. Gets all backwards. Good evening, King. I'm sure you're working on many reviews and projects. Yes, lots of reviews and projects. And while I'm up there in Alaska, I will be taking the Blackmagic, not Pixis, the Cinema Camera 6K, the Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro, or the latest one that's not the Pixis. And for good reason, because it's literally everything that the Pixis is in a smaller package. It's kind of funny. I think Kofi said it best without saying it, and that is everybody wanted a Komodo Blackmagic Pocket. And so Blackmagic's like, here's the Komodo. But it's not a Komodo. It's still a giant potato or football. So, yeah, I have the Pocket 6K Cinema Pro full frame cinema camera on loan from B&H, our beautiful, wonderful partners here on the channel. And I'm going to take that up to Alaska and get some cool footage of Alaska and things. Also be taking the Z8, be taking the Osmo Action 5, which I have really loved. You'll get a small glimpse of that on a future review that's either Tuesday or next Tuesday. But I've been wearing it chesty and kind of walking around with it. I kind of dig that. I've been enjoying that. And I also will have the Insta360 X4 and the Osmo Pocket 3 that I'm taking up there. Definitely taking way too much gear for what I should be doing up there, which is scouting. But if you're going to go someplace, you gotta absorb it all in. You gotta take it all and explore and all that stuff. So I'll be in Alaska next week and the next for a full week, starting next week. So if you see me live next Friday, I'm literally live. I don't pre-record lives. That would be weird, though, wouldn't it? I guess it could be done. I don't think I would do it. Let's see if this is. Where's my 4 minutes? Oh, let's do that one. Future is bright. Is it though? Oh, there's commercials. All right. Oh, great. Skip that ad. And I have to wonder if I'm the only person watching my stuff on Rumble. The answer is no, because I actually get 30 to 40 views a week now off the live streams. Interesting. I guess I need to upload the files to them too. Probably would help, wouldn't it? So let's see what else is going on out there. Jacob says, Happy Friday. It is a happy Friday. You are correct. You know why it's a happy Friday? You. Props. Vino. Puppies. Which I don't have the puppy cam right now. Ruben says, good evening. And Lord, I can't pronounce that, but I will try. Lorgith? Is it Lorgith? Lorgith? Probably not doing that very well. We've got Tim Butt. Hello. Saw the Brandon Uncensored earlier and decided to do your own live stream today. Well, I do my live stream every Friday. To do your own live stream. I mean, I'm here practically every Friday because, I'm the original. I'm the original Friday guy. I'm the hey, we haven't even gotten into COVID yet, and I'm doing live streams. How big is the time difference from where you are in Alaska? It's actually not that bad. They're just 1 hour further than Pacific time, which is a total of 3 hours from me. So right now it's 4 o'clock, so there it's 1 o'clock. Not that bad, not that big of a deal. The 6K full frame doesn't have all the resolutions and anamorphic modes but it's just an update away from. So it's true, it doesn't have all the anamorphic modes, but it does have the resolutions, and that's ultimately all that really matters. Yes, it's nice to be able to see everything exactly as it's supposed to look on screen, but as long as you're capturing it in the format, which I was going to bring anamorphics up there. I was like, I'll capture Alaska in anamorphic. And I'm like, I don't need to be bringing everything on the planet because I'm not supposed to be filming at all. I'm supposed to be working, homeworking up there. But it kind of happens. But I shoot in the open gate with the anamorphic. All you have to do is just do the math. Whatever the 1.5, 1.6, whatever they are, 1.8s, do the math, and in post you can fix it. On the Blackmagic, it just has certain ones at certain resolutions, and that's fine. I can do math. It's not hard. Get itchy feet. I was out in the weeds. Hello, friends. Hello, Luca. Yeah, Rex he's right here. He's of course right, no less than 6 feet away from me, or no more than 6 feet away, I guess is the term. The Pistasis could be cool for new. Well, I mean, the value of it is insane for sure. I don't know that I would consider one though. I think I would go with Raptor XLX. Well, I mean, you're literally talking about two completely polar opposites in the space. But yeah, I don't know which one I would choose. What I will say is the fact that I'm not having to take V mounts is kind of huge. It is nice though. I am taking the Power Base Edge, the new core click batteries, Power Edge click Edge Snap, Power Edge Snap. There we go. Hi, how are you? I'm Scott. I'm taking those because number one, I can charge them via USB. I can output via USB. I can also put them right on the Blackmagic camera and power the Blackmagic camera with that. So basically, my pack, what I would normally take would be like Komodo or V-Raptor with V-mounts and all of that. I mean, I would consume this much space of my backpack. I mean, literally, my backpack's right there. That's you can kind of seize it. Well, maybe you can, maybe you can't. Let's see, there it is. It's kind of dark back there. That Blackmagic it's rather tiny in there, and not having to take V-mounts and a V-mount charger, very nice. Timba says, Timba too joking. I know. Was ribbing you since you were chatting. Yeah, I try to join Brandon's as much as I can. It's not always the right time, but uh, I right around lunchtime seems to work out really nicely. And he had a really good conversation today with Cam on there, and just talking about well, literally ADHD and well, they were talking OCD. I was talking OCD, but yeah, that's a good topic, and certainly one I'd love to chat with people about at some point too. Brandon Talbot, good evening, good sirs. Good evening, Brandon. Doo, doo, doo. And then we got, so when it comes to the new Blackmagic cams, I am far more interested in the 12 and 17 pictures. Yeah, I mean, I, that's a camera, the 17 for sure, and the 12K that I really would like to play with at some point. I just, I really, really just don't like the marketing with the 12K and the 17K because it's not. And there's so many people who are coming into now the 17K is probably not going to fool anybody, because if you have the money for the 17K, you're already looking at Raptor XL and all that good stuff. So or Raptor X. So I don't think that one is, but the 12K, it's not expensive and it's not inexpensive, but there are people who might save up a whole lot of money and think they're buying a 12K camera, and they are absolutely not buying a 12K camera. So I don't like that marketing of that. I don't think they're going to change it. I'm just Scott. It's all the good things. So would you change the time you are doing the streaming? You move to Alaska, or you try to do them in the same way? I would do in Alaska on Fridays. I would probably do them at the same time. It would be a weird thing because I'd be doing them at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but it is what it is, or it's what it's. And everybody's so used to this time slot, and it's surprising how friendly and concerned, I would say, fellow YouTubers are about not encroaching on people's spaces. It's not like there's plenty of room for everybody on YouTube, and it wouldn't hurt my feelings if someone went straight up against me. But everybody's so good and reasonable, and they all understand it, and so they kind of find their spot without bumping into someone else's spot, and it's nice. It's kind of funny. I mean, you can literally just spend all day getting some Brandon Washington live streams, and then my live streams, and then the day before you get some Josh live streams, all that good stuff. Cam, hello, buddy. Great, Scotty. Yeah, indeed. How you doing, man? You doing all right? You doing all right? You have a lot of fun on there. I was enjoying the conversation on the ADHD and the all of that, because I think most creatives, if they're honest, have some form of ADHD and either know it or don't know it. And it is that point. I think they usually they will classify you as to X or like X number out of 10 identifiers of like ADHD or ADD. It's how many you display depends on how focused or not you can be. And it's always interesting hearing, like Brandon was talking about. He makes lists for everything, and that's how he operates. I can't do that at all. I cannot operate from a list. It is the most horrible thing on the planet for me to do. Now I can make a list, and I can do a really good job making that list, and it looks amazing, and I'll never see it. Even my poor wife, she got a couple of whiteboards, and we're hanging them around, and she was putting my lists on the whiteboard for me. I never even look at them. It's just not going to happen. And that is a discussion we can certainly have as well. But Cam, hope you're doing well, dude. Looks like you got some fun stuff to play with around there. When I get back from Alaska, I got to reach out to the anamorphic people and get my review set in so I can play with them. Keep it city. What's up, Scott? I purchased the Breakthrough PLVND system for my Raptor X, and it's been amazing so far. Thank you for the recommendation and info. Absolutely. And I'm also very, very glad that you're happy with it because I know, I mean, there were tons and tons of versions of that were being sent out to just a handful of people. And I wasn't even first tier, I was second tier on that. Making sure that every little detail got taken care of and making it perfect. And they are really, really good. And I think Brandon Talbot's also going to be ordering one here shortly. I missed Brandon's stream today. We'll have to rewatch, definitely, indeed. I'll have to watch it if Cam was on. You know, if Cam's on, you got to pay attention. I mean, the dude's got hair. I don't have any hair. I can't compete. I can't beat Cam. Still camera with a good internal raw video to pair with Komodo, R plus V-Raptor, R5C, R2, Nikon Z8 plus adapter to PL. Luca, my I'm just trying to think of the word because I don't want to say do this. I just want to say that more than the others, I feel like the Z8 is actually one of the better matches for a lot of reasons. One of them is obviously Red and Nikon Talk. And now that they have the technical LUT for the Z8 that takes in-RAW, in-log, and puts it into the red color, it matches the medium contrast soft roll off. So it matches really well, especially with a Komodo X. V-Raptor is going to have more dynamic range. I'm pretty sure you should be able to take an R5 II and match it as well. But from what I have seen, and I will eventually get, sorry, turning on my vent, I will get a evaluation unit in to see. From what I've seen, the R5 II is a really nice camera, but not a huge stretch from the R5. I see people that are saying that the R5C is better if you're in video, and interesting. We'll see. There's definitely some nice things in the R5 II that would make the better to have than the R5 or the R5C. So yeah, you know, I just think I think at some point we're going to see some pretty magical stuff coming from Nikon and Red. That's my gut, but it's not 100% get the Z8. It's not that. It's more like more than not. So 60%, because I think when you're matching a camera as a B camera, you don't need it to be perfect. You just need to be able to get there. And honestly, any of these cameras, I mean, Blackmagic, even though the Blackmagic doesn't have near the dynamic range that the Komodo X does, and it actually has less than the Z8, which technically has less than the R5 II, but I think it's like I don't. Everything that I've seen, I don't think either one of them blow each other out of the water with dynamic range. That being said, I don't think you have to stress too terribly much. I would find a second function for your B camera that's more important. In other words, if I were looking and I only had Komodo X and I needed a B cam, my second function would be I would want a good stills camera. In that case, I think Z8 and R5 II are fantastic for that. And quite honestly, you could do the same thing with the Sony A7R5. I think it would be a great stills camera. Wouldn't necessarily work in the ecosphere as much because you have two different lens sets, but if you're EF or PL, be fine. What are your thoughts on the Apple 8K? I saw that. I There's not enough information about it. Just like there's not enough information about the Airy Cam that's out there. The let me rephrase. There's not enough public information about the new Airy Cam. That's that one looks silly, but it also looks like they're trying. Give them credit. Cam did a great job on the Uncensored live stream earlier today. Lots of great insight. Indeed. Yeah, I really think mental health in our community needs to be talked about more. And I don't know what I would say about it in our community for sure, but I think in all communities, I think mental health is very important, and I think it's important in two bipolar ways. You like to see what I did there? And what I'm saying is we need to be able to help people that truly need help, and we also need to be able to help people who don't necessarily need like medication help control their either their activity or what have you, because I don't think we need to medicate everybody. And I was saying earlier on Brandon's thing with like you were prescribed Adderall. Adderall is a wild and weird drug, but it's actually one of the, I don't know if I could call it safest, but it is the least destructive to your existing wiring, brain wiring, because everything else actually changes things differently than what the Adderall is doing to people with ADHD. So I don't want people to be on those others unless they truly need it, because it will rewire them, and not always in a great way. But I would love for people to have conversations openly about what they can do, also things that they can do without having to do prescription drugs too. I think it's good. Cam Mackey, heart symbol. I use Apple Notes a lot. I do too, but I have the same issues. I just forget to utilize them. Yeah, well, this is true. I use Apple Notes, honestly, for everything. All of my scripts are written in Apple Notes, mostly because I can send it through the ecosystem. So that's iPad up here as the teleprompter. So I just pop it into Notes, and now I can just literally read it and scroll with my fingers if I wanted to, but I still have the software on there. Notes is something that I can search, and it's always there, and I love that. What I really wish Apple would allow you to simplify certain functions. Let's say you're driving down the road, you have a really good idea, you want to get it down. You have to open your phone or your iPad, you have to unlock it, you have to exit out of whatever it is that it thinks that you need to see first. Then you need to go into Notes, and then you need to go down and do New Note, and then you need to enable the microphone to speak to it, and blah, blah, blah. All of those things are so hyper annoying to me. I would love to be able to just like use a quick button, or maybe a quick mode that I touch it and it's going to voice dictation instantly with just like one or two clicks. That way I'm not distracted while I'm driving, and I can get that note in there. Everything with Apple is freaking animated. Same thing with Google, and I detest it. I really wish. I mean, like literally, you go into Apple Maps, you open up Apple Maps, and it comes up. It's like whoop, and it literally comes up like this, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to say add stop at the bottom of the screen or location. You hit that, and it goes, oh, where would you like to go? So now I have to go up here, and I click here to type in where I'm going. Oh, here's your keyboard down here. Click down here. And then I click enter. And it searches and it goes, would you like to go here? And you're like, yes. And it goes, oh, here's your choices down here. And you're like, oh, and you click it here. And I mean, it's constantly this animation where they want to show you how beautiful animations are, and none of it is efficient. And it's literally making you waste time and be distracted trying to find things when you really should just be paying attention to the road and just clicking a couple of buttons. I detest animations. You used to be able to turn them off. Not anymore. I have quite severe ADHD too. Bad. I miss. Definitely have to watch. Yeah, it's good stuff. Not the ADHD, the conversation. I don't have notes. I have a wife to tell me what to do. This is true. I actually have my wife on notes. So she is shared into my notes. So she can, like, literally, it's easier for me to tell her, hey, can you jot down a note real fast? And she types it in while we're driving because it's faster. Auto reminders here, good for some stuff, but miss checking off so many things. Yeah, it's such a race to, I don't know what it is. Maybe you guys do. What are they trying to win over? Who can be the most animated? Who could have the most game-like interface to get to something? It feels wrong. I reached out to Breakthrough, but never heard back from them. Well, that's sad. Well, if you don't hear from them shortly, let me know, and I'll bump them and say, bro, Graham, go talk to them. But everything was sent in, so new gear should be here soon. Nice. I've got one for the ADHD organization, software for organizing all your gear and kits with serial numbers and such for insurance and pricing. I use numbers, but still not the best effectively. I hear you. I use numbers. I am an Microsoft Excel junkie. I could make Excel sing, and I was doing it for 30 years. 25. No, 30 now. And I am not going to play the Microsoft game on Excel on Apple. I'm just not going to. So I use numbers. And numbers, once again, it's almost like they dumb it down so much that you can't use it efficiently. Like literally just being able to add up a sum of columns is really difficult in numbers versus Excel. It's silly, but I use it. Yeah, I hear you. Ooh, AirCam tease. I don't know. Do we just an RA leak? Oh, I don't know anything about that. I don't know what you're talking about. All I know is, yep, that's it. My hope is the new Area 65 using the Alexa 35 tech is released. Well, let's see about that. We'll just see. What did they just release? They released some lenses, didn't they? Those lenses are interesting. What's special about those? Interesting. Tim, you buying one? Ruben, once I sell multiple organs on the black market short. Yeah, see, organs are not what they used to be. You used to be able to get $10K for your kidney. But then people started realizing they only had 2, and they're like, whoa. Kim, have you ever looked into Modafinil. Don't know what that is. Modafinil? Not can. Oh, well, the Lorax, there's a problem with that. I don't have that enabled. I don't allow my devices to listen to me unless I specifically say so. So, yeah, that sounds good, but that's not how I want to operate. And it's not at all difficult for them to enable that ability. They just, probably don't want to. Graham Robbins. Hey, Graham Robbins, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Chris Flores says, "Hey Scott, last week I was about V&D and my vignette issue. That's right. Well, I got a C5 matte box, and that solved all the issues. Easy fix. And a matte box did not slow me down, or get in the way like I was concerned about. Thanks for matte box discussion. Absolutely. Happy to help so." Isaiah says, "Hey Scott, do you have the Core SWX hot swap shark fin?" I don't. It does work okay on it. It works best with the smaller batteries. If you put 150s on there, it's not. It really works really well with the 50 amp hour batteries. 50 amp hour, 50 watt hour. It does work nicely, and it's slightly segmented. And I have not bought it. I need to. I'm not really sure why I haven't, other than it's not super critical on my list because the batteries last so freaking long anyway. Have y'all seen the new Core G3s with the PD Pro on it? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Locking USBs. I really do like that connector. That connector is awesome. I think everybody should have a PD Pro. Are you excited to own the new Arri Enzo lenses? I'm excited to try them, that's for sure. Organs are not what they used to be. Scott Ball can try. Yeah, they're overrated. You don't need them. That is an okay shark fin. These are nice, but not as affordable as Arri is. Well, again, if you're buying Arri, they are affordable. You have to understand, Arri is not going to make a affordable, a Komodo class camera. It's not what they're going to do. It's not their market. Hey, I'm live on my channel. Did I know? What? I caught up to all the statements. That is silly. Y'all just barrage me with questions. Just. Hey, Mikael. How are you? I see you on Instagram. Whoops. Let's make sure that wasn't my dog. I was just using Red Control Pro. I love it. Let's see. Make sure there's no other questions from other sources around here that I'm missing. Because you just never know. You just never know. Graham says, "Bonjour" from France. Almost done with this Netflix movie. I've been shooting on the Raptor X, and I am now a believer. Folks, listen to it. There is nothing on the planet like it. It is amazing. The E&D is easily the best internal ND out there, and my DNT and I were loving it. I can imagine being on both sides of that, the DIT and the DP. I hear you. It is a wonderful thing. It's also giving you all that information in the metadata. Awesome. Caught up. Okay, here's one. Thoughts on the HPA award nominations? Don't really know what that is. If it's a buzzword, HPA. Let me see what it is. Okay, Hollywood Professional Association. Oh, obviously am not in the pure Hollywood area, so it doesn't make any. Uh, what was the question about the nominations? Like who was nominated? I don't know anything about that. You told me to try it, so thanks. You're welcome, Graham. You're welcome. Hola. Late but here. Howdy. That's a very good Texan thing to say. Howdy. I will be interested to find out how that works in Alaska. Did they say howdy? I wonder. I wonder what happens if I go up there and go howdy, and they go, you're not from around here, are you? That is a loud bird. Mainly post-editing awards for HPA, so color grading, editing, VFX. But I mean, there's a lot of cool abilities now just for the regular people to do stuff. So I mean, it's all magic when it's on the higher end stuff. That probably didn't make any sense. Alaska is the cold Texas. Howdy should work. I agree. They there was a meme going around. It was a playful meme. It was not serious. It's like, okay, the U.S. is disbanding and they're forming regions, and so Texas grabbed a bunch of states and Florida grabbed a bunch of states, and they kind of like-minded states, and they're like, okay, here's your new, almost like Hunger Games almost. And I was like, whoa. Y'all left Alaska out there by themselves. Get Alaska and put them with Texas, because those people know how to live. They know how to live without anybody, and those are the people you want on your side. Concept design. I'm from New York City, but Howdy is growing up. Howdy it throws people off. It really does. It's one of those. Where's my air conditioner? I'm actually getting cold. Actually, it's nice here because it has been cool. Seriously? Where's my air conditioner? I was just turning it down. Oh, there it is. There I am. Ding. We'll turn it off and we'll see what happens. We were in the 40s. Night before, what did we get to last night? Let's see what we got to last night. It'll be interesting when I put my weather station up in Alaska too, because I've been recording the weather since 2005. No, 2000. So yeah, like 25 years. I've got a lot of data. Yeah, we got 47 last night, which is great. I had the windows open, training the body. Getting used to Alaska. I miss Jared and Phil. I know Jared wants to come on. It's just finding a Friday that he's not completely and totally busy. I definitely would love to have him on just to chat about life and fun things. And heck, we could just talk about solar. I mean, that's what he and I talk about a lot is solar tech. Yeah. It's good stuff. And Phil is like in pure work mode for the next, I think he said like 6 months. He's going to be super busy. So yeah, I try not to bother him too much. Howdy from the UK. Nothing like Texas. It's exactly true. There's nothing like Texas, and there's nothing like Alaska. I feel like Texas, Alaska, Arizona to some point, and like Idaho, and maybe we'll throw in New Mexico in there too, because those are a hardy people too. But you have to be hard as a human to survive there before civilization. That's not forgiving and easy places to be, and so yeah, I think I think Howdy's the way of saying we're rough, but how you doing? Hi, how you? Okay, that question. Do you think LED lighting will plateau? It always will plateau, but it will stabilize, and then there'll be a new tech that pushes it. Because it's really, we're at the limits of the individual LED diodes that they can make. And 5-watt emitters, I believe, are the most powerful emitters that can be made. And then you have to dissipate the heat out of that. So, I mean, it's going to happen. There's going to be more. LEDs, we originally thought there would never be a blue LED. Now we got blue LEDs. And now we have RGB WW LEDs. It's all a wonderful thing. How heavy is your most geared out KX rig? Do you film handheld with that rig? I do. It's about 15 pounds. I mean, if you're talking about the most heavy, then it's full cinema build out with wireless follow focus, transmitter, everything, bat box. Yeah, it's heavy. It's 15 pounds. The biggest V Raptor, it's probably 19, 20 pounds, maybe. I mean, it just depends on the lens, because you can literally stick a Cook anamorphic on there, and all of a sudden your rig is 35 pounds. So, yeah. I don't normally build it that way. I normally build it pretty light and compact. However, I do enjoy a little bit of weight because that keeps it stable. There's nothing worse than like carrying a box of tissue around, because it'll just be jittery. Frank says, "What's up, Scott?" Hello, Frank. How are you? Happy Friday. Are you going to Bristlecone Pine before your big move? Not before, but I'll be back. I'll be back. I'm definitely, I definitely have a lot of trips planned, even when I'm there, which is kind of funny. It's like, let's go move there and then travel down the states. I'm gonna do like tours down in the South, because I like people too. I want to say hi to everybody and all the fun things. And if you're gonna leave, you're gonna leave for a little bit of a time. So, but not before. Concept Design says, every morning for the last few days in New Braunfels has been very close to perfection. Nice and cool. Are you Scotty? Did you just change your name? Yeah, you've got the same skull. You're Scotty V. Has been very close to perfection. Nice and cool. I agree, and I'm looking forward to Worst Fest, which I will be there opening weekend. So if anybody's in New Braunfels, opening weekend of Worst Fest, come say hi. I will always be on Friday. I'll always be sitting outside the big tent, just outside at the picnic tables with a nice little prop in my hand. And, of course, a beer. Ernesto says, hello from Arizona. Howdy. I'm not understanding how ISO works on RAW formats exactly. It's different. The different ISOs change the middle point of the dynamic range, but when I change the ISO in post, does it move the middle point as well? So it depends. If you're doing it on every camera except a Red, and I can't speak for every camera because there is possible that other cameras are doing it similar to Red. Red moves middle gray and the number of stops of dynamic range above and below with ISO. And it's opposite of what you think. If you think, well, you would think typically, oh, I want a whole lot of dynamic range in the top, so let me set my ISO low. And it's the exact opposite of that. You set it high and you put a lot of ND on it, and it moves the middle gray down. If you want to protect your shadows on red, you would move your ISO down and you'd give it a whole bunch of light. But that is not how you, it's not how you expose a red typically. Typically you expose a red by getting skin tone in the right IRE and keeping everything between the goalposts. Goalpost on this side is clipping. Goalpost on this side is shadows, which is noise. And what happens on a red is you can go from, I want everything in the shot or everything exposed in between the goalposts. You can go from there to the ISO visual change. When you do the ISO visual change, you will clip things. You will lose shadows because you are now changing things. But on a red, if you want more stops of dynamic range in the highlights, you push the ISO up before you record and put ND on. And what's happening though is you no longer can use your goalposts. You need to use visual. So you need to look at your monitor and a good calibrated screen to know if the subject or the person is correctly exposed. In other cameras, though, ISO is treated like just gain. And that's would be the difference. Zacharias, hello, what have I missed? Well, we're just kind of chatting, and we're all saying howdy, except for that one guy from Arizona who's like, nah, we're saying hello. Concept says YouTube has been on a pick. It has. People complaining for the things they asked for. Well, I mean, isn't that funny? And Blackmagic, I feel for them because they're like going, guys, you literally asked us for this. Yup. Put an Optimo 12x zoom on that Komodo X, and the lens will be heavier and bigger than the camera. It's true. And like when I was running that Canon 800 millimeter, I was hanging the camera off the rear end of the lens, and the lens was mounted to the tripod. Because whatever's heaviest is what you put the tripod on. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Or you have a full-on airy dovetail, which in fact I was using because it was so big. I didn't want any wobble or anything. Yep. I'll be working at the Lions Club booth for the nice. Lions Club. Are they the Kartoffel movers? No, the Lions Club is pork chop on a stick, right? Crap, which one's which? I can't remember. Flying Lap Media. What's good, Scott? You hearing any rumblings or any happenings out of Red Nikon? Everything is just slow. They are working on stuff, and there's stuff happening. I hear lots of rumblings, and don't be fearful. I know everybody's like, oh my God, look, Sonica just bought Nikon. No, they didn't. They bought some controlling interest in Nikon, but not enough. It's not even enough to do anything for Nikon. There's reasons for that, and it's not at all what anybody has been saying. Not at all. What are you using for IR filter on the C5? Ruben Zapat. I'm asking more on Blackmagic. They listed the ISO and what the dynamic range is for it. My question is, do I have to do this on set or post? So there is a chart, and I can't speak to it offhand. I'm actually going to be doing some of that testing up in Alaska. There is a chart that shows similar behavior to Red on their ISO and their dynamic range. And I know when you stray past a certain point on the ISO settings, there's a couple, I think some of them have dual ISO. when you stray from those, you are condensing in some places and expanding in others, but ultimately you are not maximizing your dynamic range. So it's a little bit different, but it kind of follows the same logic where if you go up, you're getting a little more dynamic range in there. And let me see if I can find that chart. Black Magic dynamic range ISO chart. Oh my God, Google, please go away. I'm so tired of the AI stuff. It's like, I'm going to give you an AI answer, but it's wrong. Okay, there's one. Blackmagic 4K, Ursa Mini Pro G2. I was just looking for them. So they have them on Blackmagic's website. I will attempt. Oh, let's look. It's for the Pocket 6K. There we go. So this is kind of what we're looking at here. And you can see moving the ISO gives you stops and it moves it around. And in fact, on this one, on the 6K, which is the one that I have, it looks like it's actually mirroring red. And that is, if you go to ISO 1000, you have 7.3 stops above and 6.2 stops below. If you go to ISO 100, you have 9.6 stops below and 3.9 stops above. So it does look like they are doing kind of the same thing as red does. And now that I completely understand the red thing, I love it because I know two ways of doing things. I just shoot base ISO usually and ND or light with my Blackmagic cams. Yeah, I mean, I remember though on one of the cameras, maybe it was the Pocket, there was a difference. Like it was not just it didn't stair step like that. There was like a chunk. You would take a hit. Yeah, this one. Like this chart. It's exceptionally bright, but you can see there's a stair step. You literally lose, well, it's hard to see. Let me brighten it down. Brighten it down. There you go. You can actually see the stair step, and you can see you're actually you're losing dynamic range on this end. All right. Ruben says, yeah, but for the Pixis, for example, ISO 800 has more latitude than in the highlights. I'm just asking if I have to set this when I film. So the reason you want to set it when you film is because whatever you're setting that at, you need to compensate for the subject. So if you have a beautiful bright sky and you want to keep that sky, you're going to have to go up in dynamic range or up in ISO to remap that middle gray. Now the subject on camera, I am not going to be exposed the same way. Now I need to go in with ND and bring my reference proper. Now you will have the skin in the right place visually, and the sky will be saved with the dynamic range and the ND. But you have to do that while you're shooting. Otherwise, you're not protecting the data, and you're going to be exposing incorrectly because you're no longer exposing for the sensor. You're exposing specifically visually. If you want to have more highlight details of the ISO 800, don't do it in post. Exactly. Because there's the two ways. If you shoot it at its base ISO, which they don't really have. Then you're shooting within the sensor goalposts. If you are trying, you are now creatively manipulating the image. You need to do that in camera while you're recording. Then you can still manipulate in post, but it's that if you're remapping middle gray, you still need to have your person exposed properly. Thanks all. You're welcome. Hopefully that explained it for you so you understand, because it's a bit confusing and it's ultimately not. But if you go to Red's website and type in exposing, there is a full write-up in there about exposing in goalposts and exposing using the remapping of middle gray with the ISO. Since Blackmagic is doing basically the same thing, reading that not paragraph, but it's a couple of pages with examples will help you understand how that's done. What are you shooting on here? The image tweaks week to week. Oh, I always change things up a little bit. I like to keep it fresh while maintaining some type of similarity. So right now, still Komodo, and it is on Sigma 18 to 35, and I am using the module 8, number 2. The number 2. It's the K35. See these pretty. I love those right there. The rings. The calamari rings, I call them. The module 8 K35. I really love this. I can't get enough of that, and I love it with the Sigma because it's super sharp here, but funky right here. I mean that would normally be pretty interesting. Let's see here. Tippett says, I do miss shooting film because ISO was all about the grain. Yes, it's true. And you could adjust it. Lower ISO for outside and higher for indoors and night and light. Yeah, it was 100% for exposure. And now we treat it completely different. Ruben says, the breakthrough filters are a bit confusing. They seem to have a PL to L mount with drop-in filters, but it seems to be different than the RF one, as that has a separate page. The website can be better. Yeah, I mean, it's a small company. It really is. They have two adapters. Let me be the one. Let me be the one. This is their PL. I think what they call it, PL Pro or something. It is their non-drop-in filter PL to whatever you'd like adapter. This one is like $500. And on the back, you have an aluminum or titanium ring. This ring can be L, RF, Z, E. It can be a lot of different ones. And all you have to do is just buy the back, which is $38, I think, is what it was when I had it shipped. Undo 8 screws on the back, and it's pre-shimmed perfectly for the conversion, and then you can shim it if you need to. But this guy is it's very cool. This is the non-drop-in filter, and it's $500. Then they have the why do I sound like I was a seal? Let me get this on here. You need to do that, and then this, and then that. All right, then we're going to do this. We're going to pull this off. Boop, boop, boop. That Iris lens is coming soon. This is their, crap, what do they call it? The, DFM, the Cinema DFM, right. Totally lost it. This is their drop-in version. So this one is completely different than like the EF version. This uses different V&Ds that go in to the side here and clicks right in, and then you have a good solid mount here that is shimmable. That one, you cannot change the back. As far as I know, it is not possible to change the back on turkey. Let's take that off. So it is. It's good as well. It is more expensive because you have the drop-in filters that you can put in. Boop-a-doo. This goes over here, and that goes right there. Is that does that answer the question? Wait, I do shoot film for stills these days, so still the same, but not like shooting digital in terms of, yeah, exactly. Wish more PL to LRFE adapters would pass through. Well, see, that's the hard part. It's tough because some companies won't let that information. If you put electronics in an adapter, all of a sudden Canon has a field day with it. Sorry, Canon Legal has a field day with it. And people are not trying to get sued. So, yeah, that's why. Who else got questions? What else you got? What do we got? All you people on Instagram, y'all can ask questions. Feel free. Let's see how many people are watching on Rumble. Rumble, let's see, there's 2 of you watching on Rumble. Please ask a question. Feel free. Welcome. Enjoy Rumble. It's I'm enjoying Rumble. I like it. I wish more people were on there. Yeah, it's kind of nice. X people on X. Feel free to do it. And Twitch. The 0.5 of you that watch on Twitch. Let's see here. Whoops. Wait, no, got that one. Okay. Pat Leal. Hey, bro. Oh, yeah. Pat Leal. Hey, bro. I got the Filmmaker kit that comes with the 1 to 5 stop V&D, 4 stop IRND, and the 8th mist. There you go. Best clothing swag you have from any company. Clothing swag. Aputure does really well. A really nice first AC bag that is really cool. Got to give them a shout out for that. Nanlux, they don't just give you a shirt, they give you a freaking dress shirt. It's like, I could wear this out on a day night on the town. It's a really nice polo shirt. Let's see, who else had some good swag? I always love the red hats. The red hats are awesome. I have several hats that are very limited edition, and I love them. Let's see, who else has good swag? What's that company? Well, Blue Shape actually is really good. What you call it? For your putting your badge in for the they're really good. Also, there's another company that makes a really good one that they give out. Really good stuff there, like those. Graham says, how's work been in your world, Scott? Been weirdly busy this year, but almost entirely shooting in the States and countries. But everyone else I talk to seems to be dead. Yeah, there's some absolute dead areas and like sad dead. Hollywood is devastated. My work has been rather wild. I don't consider myself a top-of-the-line DP. Maybe others do. Why is that so... It's weird. It looks so red. I'm a redneck. Yay. I have not been busy through. I was busy at the beginning of the year, and then nothing, and then super busy. And I just did 3 jobs in the last 6 weeks, uh, and one of them a very big job, and loved it. Uh, that was a big multi-day, and I still have 2 more days on that one towards the end of the year. Uh, but it's been oddly slow for me, way slower than I intended. I definitely did not intend on coasting through half of the year, but it's hard for me to complain when people in Hollywood are literally losing everything. Yeah. I hope Nikon pumps up Red Swag with free shipping. Yeah, I think that would be awesome too. Definitely one of my bigger complaints from Red. It was always, if I was ordering swag, I always had to order a lot of swag because the shipping would still be $35, so at least make it worthwhile. If you go on their website, it's super difficult to find yeah, because you have to go to cinemadfm.com. They have a whole website just for it. Um, you can also get to it on there, but yeah, it's designed. They're trying to separate breakthrough photography and breakthrough cinema is the reason it's kind of separated. You got to keep them separated. Be confused, the same system or RF or L mounts are completely different models. Let's see. Let's go there. Breakthrough dot photography. And they have cinema filters. Then they have the Cinema DFM there, and then the modular mount. So Cinema DFM, you could go to cinemadfm.com. That is to see that one. That is the drop-in professional drop-in filter. The modular mount is that first one I showed you, which you can swap out the backs, but it's not a drop-in. From there, they have filters you can drop in, and then they also have the 4x5 filters that are amazing, like seriously amazing. Uh, that's their cinema line, and then they have their all products in there. Do you got a brisket going? No, I do not, because I won't be here to eat it. I thought New York had the best barbecues. I'm like, whoa, New York barbecue? I don't know about that. My thing is, I really kind of think I want to do some briskets up in Alaska and really teach people about Texas barbecue. But I don't know where I'm going to get oak or pecan up there. I may have to literally use a pellet stove up there to do it. Definitely need a lot of redesign. But yeah, it's a very small company. They have a big production shop, but they're really kind of a small company. Oops. Blame AI for the slowdown of work. It's not really AI. There is some AI in there. You need to blame 2 things. You need to blame the studios, and you need to blame the union because they're at odds, and both of them are polar opposite of each other, and so they're making each other pay. And unfortunately, the studios have money, and the unions don't. It's, I mean, it's kind of a game of David and Goliath, but it's not what you think. It's not the same game. Oh, it makes sense now. Okay, cool. Cool. Have you tested the Mofage? I did not like the VDs from Mofage. So I think I was pretty verbal about it right up front when I first saw it, and so they probably won't ever send me one to test. But there was kind of a bluish kind of tint to their. It didn't look right. What is that? No, I can't be live streaming forever today. So there's Oakley. You don't want to throw your hand in there and say hi. Hey, Cynthia says hi. Jeff Higgins. Hey, Jeff. How are you, buddy? Happy Friday, man. I didn't realize you have done videos on the Modulate tuners. I have. They are pretty cool. And you know what's really irritating, Jeff? You quite literally put out, I guess it was your last video, what I was working on. I, I gotta go. I gotta go see it real quick because I'm working on several things here. It was your yeah, it was your Black Magic 6K versus the red Komodo, and I was literally doing that when you posted your video. I'm like. It was your third to last video, I guess. Moose brisket in Alaska, start a thing. I don't know how that would work actually, because moose is a different kind of meat. I don't know. I'll have to. I'll talk to some people. So I've met several people online. I've met several people on YouTube, YouTubers up there in Alaska that I will actually be visiting while I'm up there, mostly because they're nice people, and B, they are living up there. So they've got knowledge that will really help me. That's partially why I'm going. I'm going up there right now to scout because it's going to be snow soon. And what I really need to understand before we go up there in the winter is what do things look like wet or not snow versus snow, and what do people call things? So I need to create a translation table for when people go, oh yeah, that's this kind of land, or oh, that's this kind. I need to map that out, and I need to find the areas and see, okay, well, I don't like the way this area feels, and that kind of thing. So I'm doing that, but I'm also meeting several creators up there. Jake Sloan, we're gonna have coffee up there. I won't be getting to do the full on Josh thing with Jake, but it's because I'm going up there for me. But definitely excited to meet Jake, and then there's also a couple of people up in the Willow area, Talkeetna. One guy, Curmudgeon, they live on the Alaska Railroad, and they don't have any way to get to their place other than the railroad. And I won't get to meet him, but I'm bringing him some stuff that he'll be using, which will be kind of cool. But he's been a wealth of knowledge, and I spoke to him on the phone now, and we've talked. And then there's another one, Alaska Cut the Cord. Great couple. They've been up there, I guess, 4 or 5 years now. I guess 4 years. And really know the area. Really nice. And we spent hours on the phone the other night talking. Really good people. And I've been around the block enough to know when you move someplace, you need to do your due diligence. And it's not just, oh, this has got good schools, you need to go talk to people. And you find the right people. Find yourself there. Find someone who mimics you as best as possible and go talk to them. Because they're going to tell you everything that you need to know, which will help you and help you create that translation list. But I will ask them about moose brisket. There's also a guy, used to work at Kessler actually, who lives down by Soldotna, down in the Kenai Peninsula, and going to be hanging out with him too. Coffee for everyone. I'm buying everybody coffee. They're like half the population of Alaska. And let's see here, making sure one of them's not going, hey, what are you saying? No. Do you have any tips on a camera bag that works as a cassette bag? Tell me what a cassette bag is in a hiking bag. What do you mean cassette bag? That is not a term I know. I have tons of information on bags. Believe me, I'm a bag man. Well, I know one person, all in for AI, all in screenplays now. It's so bad. The scripts are terrible. I mean, yeah, it's going to happen. We're going to go into it, and then we're going to come back out of it. It's just what's going to happen. Cinemaniac, I think the primary camera in Hollywood will be an iPhone in 5 years. I do not agree at all. No. Nothing that people say is going to happen ever happens as fast as people want it to happen. Just like Elon Musk. We'll have full self-driving. Well, 20 years later, we don't have it. Almost. It's not going to be. Maybe 20 years, maybe. I think when they can model things, I think it'll be a little different. My BFF is an A-lister in Hollywood. He realized early, do it on your own. He has writers that thankfully were so loyal, they still make a living in LA with him. Yeah, there are people that are making a living. Yeah. Surprise! Yeah, right. If you're like, oh, I've hacked into Scott's system. Let's look at his notes. I don't know if I've asked before, but what kind of work you usually do that is not YouTube? Oh, I am a commercial DP. I work on commercials. I do some corporate stuff. I do motion control robotics. I also do DIT in feature films. That is my day job. So quite literally, my YouTube is everything that I learn on my day job. I share it here. That's the whole purpose for the YouTube. And like I was kind of talking on Brandon's live stream earlier, I would love to do YouTube full time, but I feel like YouTube would become a job that I don't love. I would enjoy it, but I don't love it. Whereas my day job, being a DP, I love it. Every day that I'm on set is a good day. That being said, we'll see. I do encourage, I think there's a link down below. There's no videos, and just subscribe and hang on because they're coming. I mean, I'm literally going to start shooting some this weekend or next week. By Our American Adventure Alaska. That is our Alaska channel. It will be far less film-based, far more homestead, far more building a house, like literally building a house or cabin, building everything about Alaska, and then everything that we do in Alaska that is not film-based. Everything that we're doing in Alaska that is film-based, like our nature shoots and that kind of stuff, will be on this channel, as well as more tutorials because I will be isolated in a cabin in the winter. So there'll be lots of tutorials. The things that I've wanted to do for forever, and we'll be in a much better place to be able to do that. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it isn't. It's going to be a good thing. Because right here, there's a lot of stress if I don't work, or if I'm working like 3 gigs in the last 6 weeks and then not working 6 months before that. That's a lot of stress that really, talk about mental health, it kind of destroys you. It destroys your creative spirit. And that won't exist in Alaska because we're not rich. Don't read into that. But we will be financially stable in that we will not have any bills. So we're going to do it right. So like, here we have a lot more bills than we would normally like to have, mortgage and air conditioning, that kind of stuff. But we won't have any of that up there. We will literally just have food, gas, insurance, internet. That's it. I'm real interested in the L2 tutor. I'm trying to decide which route I'm going to go buy or rent. Well, Jeff, see these little guys? I thought the K35s were ugly until I discovered these. And then I started being able to pull out. You see the little cute little orbs, but they have rings around them. I'm in love with that. And I find this to be kind of enjoyable now. So I like all three of them. Originally, I thought the 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 K1 or L1, I thought was my it is my favorite actually. The L1 is my favorite, which is the, and then I thought the anamorphic-ish one was my second favorite, but I swapped those roles. The K35 has become my second favorite, and I literally run it here because I love this. I love the craziness that it does. A lot of fun. Feel free to ask any questions about them. 180 degree roll. Hello, Scott. Howdy. Hope y'all are doing well and good and stuff, and we are. I'm a big fan of the city bags for a camera bag. Ruben says, how does one become a commercial DP? Work your way up. Best way to do it is to shoot stuff, show stuff, share stuff, and people find you, and then you go from there. I mean, it's. I learned everything that I could, as much as, well, I didn't learn everything I could. I learned everything that was possible in the time that I could learn. I learn every day, but I mean, for the last 30 years, I've been learning about DP, and we made the full-time jump back in 2018. And it was because my name was enough out there that I could get enough work, and I had enough behind me and people working with me to know who I am, know what I deliver, know how I deliver it, know my capabilities and such. And you know, it's a lot of friendships. It's a lot of not loyalty, but you know, it's you know someone that can do a good job, and those are the ones you do it. So work and work often. Carlos, hey Carlos, how's it going? Did you sort out the difference in cold gear and heat gear? So people have been trying to explain it, and you probably know up where you are that it's the thickness and the weave. Because I'm literally looking at I bought the heat gear thinking the exact opposite. I just had to return it all to Amazon because I put it on and I was getting colder, and it was like, this is weird. But you look at the it's 87% polyester and 13% this other thing, and then you look at the cold gear and it's 87% polyester and 13% the other thing. I'm like, how? Doesn't make any sense. But I think I figured it out. I've got a couple of different things coming in to try, and I mean, I guess I'll learn the hard knocks. Sounds like you have the right pro to YouTube mix for maintaining a good feeling to the field. Props. That's what it's all about, man. It's about loving what you do, and I do love what I do. And this channel will never be a full-time job. What is that? A tear? I'm crying. It's so wonderful. The Alaska channel, it can't be a full-time job because I'm not going to ever quit filmmaking, ever. But it might become, a bigger job than others. But and the cool thing about wildlife filmmaking is, it's project based. So yeah. Hey, what's up? You did make it, Brandon. How are you, dude? Yeah, we were just talking about your live stream. Well, a lot earlier, just talking about the mental health. It was good topic. Definitely should have. I think you should have a panel on, Brandon. Maybe 5 or 6 people that that you could talk about, like the mental health, and chat about it. I think there's a lot to that, and glad you're around. And I kind of feel weird because I don't have a Bronco. I have a van. Yeah. What's your favorite macro city lens? PL. The Takeda. The 100. What is it? 100 millimeter. Also, the IRX 150. It's a wild one because it is it's way more telephoto than normal. I like those macros. Also, the DZO Vespid Macro. Oh gosh. Let me see here. Because I'm trying to remember all the ones that I've worked with and like and trust and all those things. All of these things. Alcini, PL. Yep. And then I want to do... That's funny. Those are all probes. There we go. Oh, get out of there. No, quit. There we go. And then macro. The Takeda one is Maxcro. What in the world? Yeah, so the Vespid 90mm I've used, and it's cool. The IREX 150, definitely dig it. No. I mean, the probe lens is, of course, cool. The Gnosis from DZO, where I actually liked. Thought they were pretty cool. Takeda ATX 100mm. It's a solid macro. That's the one I'm looking at. But usually I go to EF mount macros because they're light. Battle Chris, I want to see, can you stock those like IND and the others? Okay. Carlos says, did you happen to see the head tracking on the C400 video on Facebook where the guy was doing chicken head moves? No, I didn't. Sounds funny. I'm splashing on audio finally. Ooh, a bag made of Sound Devices 833. Wow, that's a non-starter bag. A20 Nexus Go, A20 Mini, Sheps. Yeah. You're not splashing into audio. You're cannonballing into the ocean. And you got DPA. I was going to suggest DPA down there. Yeah. You any thought? I'm not going to say one negative thing about anything you've chosen there. Everything you have listed is a top quality, top performer. Can't complain at all. Logan, howdy. Have you seen the Uncensored Podcast chat? Loved your takes. And have seen you. Okay, I was like, have you seen? I was like, Brandon's literally right here. Loved your takes and glad to be here. Oh, well, thank you, Logan. I appreciate it. And thank you, Brandon, for shouting out, shouting me out almost literally every time I'm on there. I appreciate the sense of community that we all have. It's, what? Okay, that makes more sense. Well, it was a guy named Phil that was emailing me, but the way it shows on here, it's like, hey, Phil, you completed this. And I'm like, Phil, good afternoon. I'm like, I'm not Phil. But Logan, yeah, thank you for stopping in and hanging out, and hopefully you choose to stick around. I have lots of videos of variety. I've got 700 videos out there now. I like to just be myself, but yeah, it is definitely a great community of the YouTube filmmakers, the professional. I would call us. We're not all semi-pros because we're all in the pro, but I mean there are people that work on $100 million features. They're not on YouTube. But below that, the community is great, and I do love it. And I appreciate all the guys out there, all of yous. Zacharias, the cassette is like a gear pod. Oh, yeah, Hyperlight Mountain has a gear pod, and they are expensive. They do not protect your gear from light impacts, but they have a format that fits in the hiking bag. Gotcha. Yeah. So I have had my eyes on several, and I will have to say that the Shimoda, this is the Shimoda X70. It's the X70 HD V2. This bag is now, without question, my most favorite bag, period. And I have a ton. Let me grab a. These are now empty for the most part. No, they're not. Wow, it's full of batteries. But like this is the Mountain Smith Parallax. It is not a cassette type. It does not have that ability, whereas the Shimoda does. It has the core. They call them core. There. They have the core. Let's see if you can see it. But this is the DVXL or XXL XSL DV core, and it basically goes all the way to here on the bag, and then the top is actually a large expansion, which I truly, really like. So now I can put a whole bunch of extra gear and then roll it up and get it cinched in there. So clothes and everything you can put up in there, but you can also put gear in there. I think for the most part, the X50 V2 is best if you are not running reds. So the reason I have this one is because I run the full reds, and I like to keep them built. And that's why that one is my favorite. If I wasn't running full reds, I would probably think the X50. It's slightly smaller. And on this one, I don't necessarily need the full XXL DV core. I was literally last night looking at the medium and the large. Those will fit nicely in there and give me a little more room on top. Carlos is like, that's a nice audio kit. Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, it's the best. Baracho says, hope all is well. If you had a choice today, Takina Vista Prime or Takina Vista P? I know the Vista Prime really well. I adore the Vista Prime. That being said, I would get more work off the Vista P today, and I would get more rentals on the Vista P today than I would on the Vista Prime. Just because they're newer and fix a few little things that people didn't like, and they also enhanced a few things. So, yeah. 180 degree rule. Carlos, thanks a lot. I spent a lot of time researching. I mean, you spent a lot of time researching on the right places. It's a jump for me and my clients and my talent. I mean, really, that bag that you have is a full-time audio engineer. That's a full-time position. It's not one of those bags that you can set next to the camera on a commercial shoot and just operate. There's a lot going on in that bag. I mean, it could be done, but my rig, I don't ever go out as an audio engineer solely. So my rig is built around me being able to operate it quickly and efficiently with me being as a small DP. I just splashed myself, Carlos, because of your question. Do I transport your red with the monitor on? Yes, I do. I am a bad human. But I explained it all last week in the live. I had my wife sew me some, not these, but, well, these are the dividers of the core. So there's a little bit of softness in there. And then you have padding around the bag. she sewed me some little bags with foam inside. So I put the foam against the glass of the monitor. So when I fold it down, it doesn't break off. It has something to hit when it has any pressure on there. I have done that since DSMC 1. I've done it with DSMC 2. I am the guy that they all fear because DSMC 1 and 2, they all had the same kind of, well, DSMC 2 had just break it off the mount. But I never broke mine. It worked like a champ because I put that pad underneath there. And that keeps it from, because it sits about this high off when it's flat and it's on that hinge. So if you don't have anything, you press on it, it's going to break this eventually. But by putting that foam pad in there with soft, it was, I mean, this is kind of one. This is kind of one that she made. It's funky right at the moment, but it's kind of like a Sherpa soft bag that goes over it, and then there's a little pouch in there for the padding in there. And I really do like that. And then when I travel with the DSMC 3 monitor, it's on there and it's attached. And I really like the mid 49 speedball mount. That is by far my favorite monitor mount ever, period. And what I do with that is I have the little pad on there and I loosen it and I let it fall into the bag, well, on top of whatever it is. So sometimes it's on the back, sometimes it's on the lens side, whichever is the most comfortable for it to be, where it falls, and then I don't tighten it. I loosen it so that it can move around and it can flex, but it has a pad to rest on so it can't scratch the glass or break the glass or anything like that. I have had no problems with that over the years. I have traveled, and I mean, literally everywhere I go, it's been that Boreal or the Parallax bag forever, and now it's this one, and that's how I travel. Carlos, you could be that brave. You could do it. I believe in you. The crazy chicken head guy. Oh, I'm not in that group yet. They haven't approved me for the group because apparently they had posted one of my videos today, so I went out to join that group, and they haven't approved me yet. What monitor do you use as a second? What do you mean as a second? Like as a visual side monitor? Or are you talking first AC monitor? Or when I'm not using the DSMC 3 monitor? What are you referring to as the second? Because I have the port keys and the OC that I prefer a lot. I use the OC outside a lot because it's so bright, but I use the port keys because the color is really nice. Second side monitor. I rarely am using a side monitor. I am always using just overhead. And if I'm working with someone else, it's whatever they want to be using on there. Yeah, I don't have a recommendation. I mean, Small HD is certainly very popular on there. Dirk, good evening. Second side monitor. Yeah, we're actually just about to wrap up too. I've got to go do some things here. Timon says, I wish Flanders Scientific made some more color accurate on-camera monitors. I love their amazing reference monitors, but always the big boys. Yeah, you can't really say much bad about Flanders. They make an incredible monitor. They really do. But they're a tiny company, and it's very hard for tiny companies to do things sometimes. It takes a lot of money to make that stuff happen. All right, who's got some last minute questions? And says let's blow through these because I gotta jump out of here. I actually went about 40 minutes longer than I thought I would. Because I hope you're saving some coins for the upcoming holiday sales. Let's see what offers come up. I'm saving some coins. I'm I'm saving some coins for Harbor Freight because the Harbor Freight is going to have some incredible deals on some generators on the Black Friday, and I'm going to buy a bunch of them at discount and take them up there in Alaska and basically help pay for the trip up there. Any recommendations for L2PL? Yeah, look at breakthrough.photography.com or breakthrough.photography, which is Breakthrough Photography's website. And go down to the PL modular mount. You can adapt the modular mount. You can also take the back off, and you can put on a $38 adapter that gets you to Z, gets you to RF, it gets you to E. So it's really nice. It's $500. It's pretty easy. Looking into the BS1H, or should I wait? I mean, if it makes sense, it makes sense. Yeah. Thanks. Have a great evening. Is the Breakthrough DSMC2 adapter PL? I think PL is the only one they made, but I don't know that that's readily available because I believe it takes a donor. I don't know if they ever actually released a production unit of it. Harbor Freight are the keys of one-time use tool. I mean, they're getting better. They're getting a lot better. It's kind of funny that there's if you go to like the Torque Test channel, and there's a couple others where they're comparing the Harbor Freight stuff against like big name stuff, and Harbor Freight in some cases has beat the biggest names out there. It's kind of funny, but they also have some pure crap, just pure crap. A medium format global shutter sensor, 120 frames at 8K, R3D RAW, Mamiya 645 with 0.7 keep on PL adapter. I mean, that'd be nice. I bet it's huge if it existed. My tools are Hilti. What tools do you use and recommend? I'm the anti-everybody guy. Nobody likes my choice. I like Harbor. No, I'm kidding. I'm a DeWalt guy. I've had DeWalt stuff forever, and this studio, my entire house, the theater, the edit bay, all of that was all built with a DeWalt 36 volt combo pack. And I tell you what, we beat the ever living hell out of it. We broke every tool ultimately, but we used it. I use all Lumix cameras and L mount lenses. So BS1H makes sense, but I have the Pixis. I understand. Nikon Red should make a 65. There was no lenses for it. They talked about this. It was the original. They had a huge sensor design, but there was no market. There's very few people that would buy it, and there were extremely few lenses out there that could support it. 180-degree rule, DeWalt guy here. Woohoo! Yeah, I dig my DeWalt stuff. I have always bought DeWalt whenever I can, and you need to know that there are different grades of DeWalt. So you look at the DeWalt drills. If you go to DeWalt's website and you search all their products, you'll see that there's like 8 different drills, and each company, like Lowe's or Home Depot, will ask for certain things on a drill that they make for it. They're not all the best. Then there's a commercial-ish, but not all categories have a commercial grade tool. So I highly recommend y'all watch the Torque Test channel, because they literally break these things and figure out what's good. And DeWalt's not the best. But it's very good. Milwaukee seems to do very well. Hitachi does really well in some things and horrible in others. So it's always fun. But yeah, I'm a yellow guy. Pat Leo, I sent you a vid. Cool option for Pixes. Yeah, Fairless Syntax. I'm fixing to jump off here, but let's see. Just joining now, I'm curious. The Blackmagic Cinema 12K looks like one of the most significant new cameras in recent times. Sensor readout and speed is fast. It's like having global shutter. Yeah. And the image quality coming out of the RGB VistaVision sensor rivals Alexa's, Venus's, V-Raptors 12K, downsampling to 8K, 4K. Yeah. It only rivals Fairless Syntax at 4K. It does not rival Venice or Raptor when it comes to 8K because it's not a 12K sensor. It is a 4.6K sensor. All of those clear photo sites have 0 resolution information in them. So although there's 12Ks of pixels, they're photo sites, there is not 12K of resolution. It's a 4.6K camera. So the good news is that almost everything is delivered in 4K now, so no problems. Your 12K is going to make a flat-out gorgeous 4K. But if you have to deliver 8K, nope, not quite the same. Not quite the same. Why nobody's talking about it? Well, because no one can get their hands on it either, too. It hasn't brought the attention it deserves. It's getting the attention it deserves. They're making inroads. They're doing good stuff. But I have a severe problem, and I said this at the beginning, of their marketing. It is not a 12K camera. The 17K is not a 17K camera. I don't care how anyone wants to spin it. It is 17K or 12K of photo sites, of which it can produce the 12K, a 4.6K actual resolution image, and the 17K is like 6K, something like that. I used the Lawrence of Arabia 65mm lenses on the 12K red 65. That'd be cool. I used a keep-on PL adapter with my Mamiya 645, really clean set. The Mamiya 645 lenses are awesome. Scott, continue the stream. Just use the vlog setup while you hang with the family. I have considered it, and I don't know how to get, because all the cameras that I would use to vlog, like the Osmo Action or the Pocket 3, they're set up for USB-C webcam, not for wireless streaming. It kills me. Yeah, it's really, really, really important that people understand about the clear pixels, clear photo sites on there. They have a 12K camera right now that's been out there forever. Pixel peep it. Go in, zoom it all the way into 1:1. You will find it looks just like an iPhone zoomed in 1:1. It is not a pretty picture at 12K because it's not a 12K image. The photo sites are there for dynamic range. They're there to help. They're not using a traditional bear pattern. They're using a different one. And those clear photo sites are to get them past the 13 stops of dynamic range that the 6K cameras all seem to have. See the pattern? See what's happening? The 6K has more resolution. The Pixis has more resolution than the 12K does. But the 12K has more dynamic range. Resolution isn't everything. Don't get me wrong. And like I said, we're all delivering in 4K or 2K. And at 4K, the 12K produces an absolutely gorgeous image. Gorgeous. The 17K will produce an absolutely gorgeous image. But not at 12K, and not at 17K, and not at 8K. It can't even deliver a 6K that will equal the Pixis 6K. Keep that in mind. Okay, that's enough. And I'm not peeing all over Blackmagic. I've owned Blackmagic. I have peed on them in the past. I have really respected really so much of what they have done, and I really believe they're really close to some fantastic, perfect, real resolution cinema cameras. I think this is just the step before, and I think those cameras are great. My problem is the marketing, because there are too many people, and I don't say this negatively. I mean it just in reality, and that is there's too many people out there that don't know enough, and they see the 12K or they see the 17 and they think I'm getting a 12 or 17K camera, and they're not. That's all I want to say negative about it, because the cameras produce, I mean, I've been blown away with this 6K Pocket Pro Cinema. It produces a gorgeous image at 6K. The dynamic range is not there compared to V-Raptor or even Komodo X. Just control the light. That's what we all do anyway. Before we had V-Raptors, we had to control the light. It's what we did. Before film, we had to control the light. So don't take that as a negative against Blackmagic at all. I don't like their marketing on the 12 and 17K. That's it. Okay, I've got to run out of here, folks. I all appreciate you all for joining, and it was a pretty good crowd today. I appreciate you all joining. Don't know if it was commented before, but DZO Film just released a new set. Yeah, I saw Vaz. Very small, lightweight cinema, 980 piece. Do you have a chance to investigate? I have not yet. I've been very busy right now with most things Alaska. I'm not trying to have it impact the channel too much, but reality is reality. I'm in the middle of a gigantic move, so it has slowed me down on some things. But everyone, thank you for joining. Please consider becoming a channel member like Dirk. Dirk, I appreciate you being a channel member out there. You get to see the videos beforehand too, and other things. You have access to me, Dirk. If you ever need it, you reach out. You get the extra access. It's a great way to do it. Also, please use the affiliate links down below. B&H has been a great... the sponsorship is not the right word, because they're not giving me money, but they are loaning me gear. They are supporters, contributors, partners. Partners are a good way to do it. They're loaning me gear. They're not giving me gear. They're loaning me gear. And I do, if you buy on the affiliate, I do get a tiny, tiny commission on that. But B&H has been a great partner on this channel, and more so lately, and I dearly love them. So please, if you're going to purchase something and you desire to, please consider using the affiliate links down below to purchase. Greatly appreciate it. Please disable your ad blocker, because I don't get the credit if you don't. And yeah, as always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions. Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend. Eat something delicious. Spend some time with family.